Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia. Today we're talking about the best of the best technology in Kia land. So today we're going to talk, we have two vehicles behind me. They're just here for demonstration purposes. And we're going to spend about the next half hour going over a list of technology questions. The best part is this is live, so you guys can add in your own technology questions. So we're going to plan for about a half an hour. If we go a little overtime, that's fine. Real quick, if you're joining us and we're not live, let me show you two things quickly. I'm going to show you what we're going to cover here. So real quick, I'll go over them. That way you know sort of roughly when we're doing things. I will do these mostly in order, but I will do the smart tailgate first. So blind view monitor, 360-degree camera, safe exit assist, collision avoidance systems, smart tailgate, which we're going to do first, lane keep assist, lane follow assist, highway drive assist, hybrid powertrains, those kind of things, alternative powertrains. Display screen cluster, we're going to talk about some of those, 10 and a half inch or 10 and a quarter inch display and the interface, driver attention alert, parking sensors with improved visuals, UVO intelligence, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and we'll probably have more. So that's where we're headed. That's where you can sort of sense in order. You can sort of refer back to that. We're going to use these two vehicles, and normally what we do is we wait till about the 3-minute mark. We have a number of regulars that join us, and we're going to allow them to jump in. If you are not a subscriber to us, feel free to subscribe. That'd be cool. We do this every weekday at 2 o'clock. Lots going on today, so I just barely got here in time. You guys are my regulars are reminding me to get the keys because that's usually what I forget. I do have the key for the Telluride. I assume this car has the key in it. I hope so because I haven't looked for it. Let me just make sure it's in there. Is it in the cup holder there? It's in the cup holder. We are good, so we're good for that. Breaking news. Have we got any? We won't mention the T word. Yeah, the T word is teddy bear. I usually use the teddy bear to measure trunk space. Luckily, technology and trunk space are not something we have to relate together. So I had a teddy bear that I used to measure trunk space, and he's missing. I think he's gone. I honestly think he's been stolen. So, anyway, that's sad. Another minute to go. We can kill time. The regulars are jumping in here. What else can I tell you? I don't think there's much to say. This SX Nero Touring, I did a proper walk around, so an edited video together, so it's a little more palatable, easy to watch. Yesterday I said that the Nero had sort of fallen out of one of my top few favorite Kias, but this SX Touring kind of jumped right back in today, and I'll talk about that in our in the edited video, which I might edit it up tonight at home. I'm not sure if I'll finish it today at work, but anyways, it'll be up soon. So really interesting car here in the top trim line. Call the RSMP about Teddy. I don't think we can. I don't think they care. Anyways, okay, where are we at right now? Let me just see. My screen is falling asleep. So what I'm going to do is throw it on the Apple TV, and I'm going to throw this over on YouTube. Hey, real quick, if you want to join us, and maybe you haven't. All right, those of you jumping back in at 3-minute mark, just real quick, if you want to join us live, let me show you how to do that. You just go to YouTube, search for Brantford Kia, and at 2 o'clock, which is it's 2:02 right now, I always try to jump on 1 minute before 2 o'clock. But if you come in at 2 o'clock, one of two things is going to happen. Sometimes you see our live now video here when you refresh our page exactly at 2 o'clock. Sometimes it's not there. You just click this videos tab, and you're looking for this live now video. 2 o'clock Eastern time, every weekday we do that. No ads to watch today. That's good. Oh, wait. No, yeah, no ads to watch. Okay, so we've just had a nice little discussion with some of the regulars as they jump in. Okay, so we're going to talk technology today. I'm going to jump right over here. I am taking your questions, but I may get to them closer to the end. So feel free to ask questions throughout the whole bit. But here's where we're headed. I'm going to try to move quickly because I think you guys prefer that. First of all, I want to talk about smart trunk. Let's just take a look at the smart key for a second. We did a whole video on the smart key, and it's one of the more popular videos, which is interesting. These are our new smart keys. They are keyless keys. If you ever needed to pull the key out of there, you could. You could do it out of there. We'll talk about that some other time. The newest key on the Telluride, for instance, has a remote start right there on the key fob, but the rest of your buttons are down in here. They're harder to hit. Now, here's the real advantage of a smart key. Let me just go over here. Is it me or is the feed pausing? It's not pausing for me. Hopefully, it's just at your end. If anybody else wants to jump in, tell me if it's pausing. Sometimes I can kick off Apple CarPlay. You know what? Or CarPlay. I'll kick off the TV play. Crystal, for you. Okay, so we're just going to leave it there. All right. Here's the thing with our smart trunk. I'm going to put this on the floor here. Hopefully my AirPods will work as a microphone. I want to show you this. So watch the lights on this car. This happens to be an SX Telluride. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the key. I'm going to throw it in my pocket. I'm going to approach the trunk of the car. I'm not going to wave my foot under. I'm not going to do anything else. But as I approach the trunk of the car, signal lights blink 5 times in 3 seconds. You can hear a beeping as well. Bam, trunk opens. One of the best features of our smart key. This vehicle is being used, so it's got a bit of a dirty trunk. I may not show you that, but isn't that the best system in the world? Now let me tell you why it's great. Actually, you know what? I'll come right back here and tell you why it's great. If you have a competitor's car and they have that system, you're waving your foot underneath like this, and you're losing your balance while you're carrying your baby or your precious cargo or something else. It's a dumb system. You don't need to do it that way. Kia system's great, makes perfect sense. You don't have to touch it. If you want to turn it on or off, you can. Super smart system. So that's the smart tailgate. Let's jump in and we'll go in order like I promised. We'll talk about the other technologies. Yes, in winter, you're standing on snow and ice. You don't want to slip on one foot. Just kind of a silly way to do things. Okay, next we're going to talk about the 360 camera. So for this one, I am going to open the door here today just because I'm going to, hopefully it's not too noisy for you guys. If it is, I don't think you'll have too much noise, but we're just going to turn these vehicles on a little bit. And all right, 360 camera. You guys have seen these before, but maybe you haven't seen it the way I'm going to show it. Here we go. We've got our 10.25-inch screen. We're going to start the vehicle up, hit the start button. I told the boss he's got to leave because I'm going to fume him out because his office and my office are just on the other side of this wall behind us. All right, there's our cool screen. This needs a software update, I think. Oh, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Hit reverse right now. Check it out, 360 camera. Now, you've got a couple things going for you. Check out there on the side. You can see where the front's going to swing. Turning the wheel this way, you can see where the rear's going to swing. And, of course, in the back of camera, you can see what's straight behind you. Now, what's cool about this, here's what a lot of vehicles don't realize. That, the blue line here, you're going to hook it up and set it up with your parking spot. And then this is basically where your vehicle is going to go. Pretty cool, right? Check this out. You can zoom in. Did you know that? A lot of people didn't know that either. You can zoom in and zoom out. It's at the default, which is in the middle, but you can zoom in. So that's kind of a cool feature. I bet you my boss doesn't know that. We'll have to find out from him. You can also look right behind you. Maybe you're hitching a trailer. Great view right behind you. You can also look at just the sides of the vehicle. If you're parking against a curb on this side or that side, you can see exactly where you are. You can see the front wheels, the rear wheels there in the picture there. And of course, you can adjust it for whatever you need. Now, I'm going to go into drive from reverse. Check it out. Now I have a camera on the front of the vehicle. And see where my guidelines go? They still continue to guide me. And the rear wheel has sort of that swinging area to tell you if there's anything there, your vehicle might turn towards it and might hit it that way. So not only is it a smart 360 camera, it's just a smart camera overall. While we've got the vehicle running, we might go out of order here. Check out this here. One of the voted best new technology. This is going to show up on the new 2021 Sorento. I'm going to hit my signal light right here. So hit the signal. How does that work? We'll talk about the camera in a second. Ask these questions at the end. Tell me to go back to them. When I hit the signal, check out that. I'm still using the side camera. Windows open. Hey, there's my hand. My hand's sticking out the window like that. It sees my blind spot. When I signal, not only do I have my mirror, I can look right there in the center of my dash and see my blind spot. There's the coat I just took off because it's too warm. Let's signal to the right side now. There's the right side where that Kia Niro is. Now check this out. That Niro is parked there. In my mirror, I don't see the Kia Niro at all. And if there's a passenger sitting here, let me just zoom out a little bit here. If there's a passenger sitting there, it's possible that seat's moved forward and I really don't see that Niro very well. Or maybe I'm a little bit shorter. I have a hard time seeing that Niro. So check out this view versus that view right there. Isn't that pretty cool? You can see exactly what's in your blind spot. Super awesome, super smart. I love that feature. All right, gonna put the car back, turn it off, jump out here. Let me just see what our next technology was. Bear with me, I have an order. I want to try to follow it. Safe exit assist. We did a couple things, so we did go out of order. Safe exit assist. Okay, let me show you really quickly what that is. Okay, safe exit assist. You can see here electronic locking of my windows and my doors for my rear kids. Smart system, right? I can hit those things, and basically it turns on the child locks so the rear doors don't open from the inside. Now, safe exit assist. We have blind spot detection here. Blind spot detection is a radar system in the back of the car right about this area, probably in the plastic area. What it does is it sees vehicles in the blind spot. It sees vehicles when you're doing rear cross traffic alert. It does those kind of things. So if I'm a vehicle and I'm zooming up alongside the side of this Telluride, that radar system, when I'm parked, can sense a vehicle coming up and it will lock this door so I don't have my kid opening the door into traffic, getting out, getting smoked by a bus. Isn't that smart? Super smart. The Celtos has a similar system with a safe exit warning. It will beep, 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 beep. It will warn you when there's something approaching and you're trying to get out. But this one actually locks the door, just child lock, locks the inside door handle. Super smart system. All right, pretty cool. That works. I'm going to shut these doors again for a second because I don't think I need to turn the vehicle on. All right, so we did safe assist. Collision avoidance. Okay, collision avoidance. We talked about seeing things. We talked about the blind spot detection. Now I want to talk about collision avoidance systems. Let's just stay on the same side of the vehicle here. Not only is that a blind spot detection system that sees a vehicle coming this way, it is also a blind spot avoidance system on many of our vehicles. How does that work? Once it sees a vehicle, if you're approaching into the next lane and it sees a vehicle, it will warn you, but it'll also brake the front outside wheel, which means it'll pull the vehicle back that way. Now, on the new Sorrento, what's coming up is if this lane is open and this lane has a car. You ever seen like somebody's coming from this lane in and this Telluride's coming from this lane in, and you're both getting the same lane, and then everybody starts like swearing and honking and beeping and stuff. I don't know if honking and beeping are different, but bleeping out bad words. Anyways, when that happens on the new Sorrento, it's going to sense when that car comes in because your blind spot detection will not warn you if there's nobody in that lane. But if it senses you're coming in and someone else is coming in, it'll brake that opposite front wheel again and it'll pull you back in while warning you that it's what it's doing, collision avoidance. We also have a little camera in the front of our cars. I don't know if you can see it here. There's a little camera, that little V there. There's a camera right in the middle of that, or A-shaped, I don't know, the upside down V. There's a camera in the middle of that. It looks for cars in front of this vehicle. Now, that will, of course, help it avoid a collision by stopping. It also has a radar plate down there. And on many of our cars, that radar plate also looks for pedestrians and cyclists. Now, what's really interesting is let's pretend that you're the Telluride, you're going straight through, and I'm a silly car that's just the light, I'm turning left, and the light's about to go red, so I'm going to cut in on the red light just last minute in front of the Telluride because I've got to go down that way. So when I'm silly and I decide to cut in and go left, the Telluride, or sorry, the new Sorrento, and I believe the K5 as well, is going to have that junction collision avoidance. So that guy that zips through the light real quick in front of you as you're supposed to be going through, the Telluride can, or sorry, the new Sorrento is going to be able to see that and be able to stop the car. You know, it's designed to be able to stop the car if it sees that happening. So collision avoidance is a huge piece. Same thing with rear collision avoidance. A lot of time when you're backing up, this is another great pyramid shape. That's the word I'm looking for. This is why the regulars are here, because they know I can't speak. I do it for a living, but I don't do it well. All right, so when we're doing rear cross traffic alert, I'm driving a car this way, and a minivan is parked here, so the driver can't see me. Telluride's backing up right now, but because the minivan's parked where my hand is, they can't see me. The radar plate can see me, which means the driver can be warned of me approaching this way, and it will actually stop the car. It's capable of stopping the car as it's coming out. Collision avoidance is a huge feature that's making its way into many, many, many of our vehicles. So that's kind of fun. All right, collision avoidance, safe assist, lane keep assist. Okay, lane keep assist, lane follow assist, highway drive assist. What kind of damage to the car would affect the... Sorry, I missed that. Oops. Oh, hold on. Jasmine, are you still there? Oh, good. Sorry. Jasmine, let me get to your question in a second. I accidentally tapped it and my whole screen went blank. So I promise you guys I will get to questions in a second here. What we'll do is we'll stop in a minute or two, take the question so far, and then we'll keep going. I want to talk about lane keep assist, lane follow assist, highway drive assist, because I feel like that'll get us halfway through the video, and then we'll take your questions and go from there. Okay, so a lot of you guys have seen this system right here. That little light right there, or that little button, excuse me. Let me just see if I can turn it on without turning the car on. If I have to turn the car on, I will. So you're going to see a few things here. Let's go over here. Okay, lane keeping assist, they call it on this particular car. Used to be lane keep assist, then it became lane keeping assist. No real reason. All right, lane keeping assist. So what it does is exactly what you would think it does. It keeps you in your lane. Now, this is not exclusive to Kia. A lot of cars have this type of technology, but they do it different ways. For instance, if you're in a Honda and you start drifting out of your lane, you're going to feel the steering wheel do this really aggressively. Super distracting, makes it very, it just adds nerves to your driving because you want to avoid that feeling because it makes it not feel good. Now, what a Kia will do is as you're glancing over here and getting a little distracted and you're drifting out of your lane, the Kia will actively steer yourself back in the lane. Just gently steer yourself back in the center of the lane. So that is a super, super good safety feature, especially because we are all getting more and more distracted by all the things in our lives. And we're looking at our phones and our watches and our various things, and it's just not a good idea. So Kias will actively steer you to be centered in the lane. Now, what happens when you can't see the lane markers? So lane keeping assist is looking for those lane markers. It uses that same pyramid shaped area of the camera off the front. When it can't see the lane markers, that's when things get super cool with a Kia. It has lane follow assist. And what that does is if it can't see one or both of the lines, it can make an artificial lane. It can see on a gravel road, for instance, or on a road with a gravel side that's no white line on the right side. It can see that supposed to be a lane there and senses where the gravel is, and it will still keep you centered in the lane, even when those lanes aren't very good. I've used this system in a rainstorm on a dark highway night. I could barely see anything, just a brutal, brutal night. And it saw the lane markers, or it didn't have, I could barely see the lane markers, but the car created lane markers, kept me centered in the lane. Super good system. And instead of wanting to avoid touching lane markers, you can just kind of keep it on your own. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to talk about highway, or we're going to talk about highway drive assistance. Actually, let's do that. So, highway drive assist is another technology. You have smart cruise control. Let's just tie them all together real quickly. Smart cruise control is cruise control that keeps its distance from the person in front of you. And our smart cruise control works in stop and go traffic. In fact, that's majority of the time that's where I use it. So smart cruise control can keep the distance, and in stop and go traffic, it'll come to a stop and accelerate again. Now, if you stop for a little bit longer, you can hit the resume button by tapping up, or you can tap the gas pedal and it will put it back going forward. But it is a superb system. Highway drive assist, where it works, it doesn't work everywhere in the country, but on certain highways, it can sense the speed limit. You set the cruise for the speed limit. Let's say the speed limit is 100 kilometers an hour, and it goes down to 80 kilometers an hour. You will have a system that is capable of using the navigation system to lower the speed from 100 kilometers an hour to 80, if that's the speed limit, and go through there at the speed limit, and then accelerate back up when the speed limit increases, which is super cool. Now, in some of our future cars, you're also going to have a situation. You ever been on cruise control of, like, say, 100 kilometers an hour, and then the road has a sharp bend, and you kind of have to kick it off cruise control? They also have a system coming out in the new Sorrento, which will handle those curves. It will slow yourself down a little bit, help handle those curves as you're doing that. So highway drive assist, lane follow assist, lane keep assist, all part of the same system. All right, one more thing before I take your questions. Attention alert, driver attention alert. So this is my attention level. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. Each of those bars represents an hour of attentive driving. Pretty good system. So after about 5 hours of driving, it's going to say, "Hey, take a break," and you get a little coffee cup that shows up right there. Fun fact: you don't have to wait 5 hours. We have people that can turn it on very, very quickly. So how do you? How does the car sense that you are not paying attention? Well, basically, a couple things happen. If you are swerving in your lane, letting the car do its lane keep assist, and because you have to keep your hand on the wheel. But if it's noticing I'm spending more time steering myself than you are steering me, the car is going to say, "Hey, that's not right." If you're braking late, those kinds of things, they can trigger you to lose some bar graphs. So you can see them happening. So my wife has a 20-minute drive to work. Funny story. My wife doesn't watch my videos, so I'm sure I'm going to be fine. Don't tell her this. She gets our new car. We have well, not even that new anymore, but she drove my car to her workplace. It's about 20 minutes away, and it's a pretty simple drive. So she says to me when she gets to work, "How come my car told me to have a coffee?" And I think she was all thinking, joking, like, "Hey, I'm going to Tim Hortons and getting a coffee." I said, "It's because you're a terrible driver." And she said, "What?" And yeah, so that, okay, if you've seen that coffee cup a few times, we need to talk. Anyways, so I told her it's because she's a terrible driver. So I explained to her that she's letting the car steer itself too many times, and she possibly is braking late. And she says, "Oh, that makes sense. I kind of let the car steer at me all the way to work." Again, it's mostly a straight drive to work, and she let it steer by herself, and she started losing these bar graphs. So that's kind of a cool system that says if you're alert or not. But she didn't notice any difference. She felt totally safe the whole way because the car was doing such a good job. But it's like, hey, you're maybe not driving the best way you should be, and that's how it works. All right, let me just take your questions real quick here for a second, and then we'll keep going down the line here. I got lots that I want to share with you today. So let me see what you've got for questions. Bear with me as I jump over to my screen here. Not the best view. Okay, questions. Let me just see. Unknown, you're super late. Well, that's okay. You're in Korea, so that's okay. We have one of regulators from Korea. So, what happens when you get to low during the attention level? It gives you a pretty big warning with a coffee cup. So, once you run out of those bar graphs, it's like, hey, you should take a break. And it just changes to a coffee cup. Doesn't pull you over or anything like that. Only a gentle movement to one side or the other. It won't over. Okay, yeah. Smart cruise. Will it turn on again once it feels your hands on the steering wheel? Oh, you guys are talking about smart. Okay, so I'm missing some of that. You may have to re-ask those questions. I'm skimming through pretty quickly. What kind of damage to the car would affect the sensors? Okay, great question. So that we were talking about the collision avoidance systems. Okay, if you damage this bumper back here, potentially you hit the right spot, you're going to hit a little radar thing. You have to go hit it pretty good though. Down here, these are the parking sensors. We're going to talk about them later in the video. Don't scuff your bumper against them. They're there for you to avoid scuffing bumpers. They beat progressively quicker. We're going to talk about them later. There's an avoidance thing. That little radar plate, probably not the cheapest thing to hit. Don't crunch that. And again, if you have a cracked windshield, I've actually seen this. Somebody had a cracked windshield right on that camera. And that will give you a warning saying, hey, this doesn't work. One little thing to keep in mind, that smart cruise control. Canadian winters, we get a lot of slush on the roads. If this slush is over, you will get a warning that the smart cruise control will not be active. It'll still work as cruise control, but not smart cruise control. And you just have to wipe that radar plate. So it depends on where it is on the car. That car's also got one on there. I don't know if you can see that. We'll zoom in. So again, same thing. They can get slushy, but yeah. So that's some of the sensors that they use. Most of them are going to avoid you damaging them anyways, but interesting question. Okay. Is there anything I missed? Oh man, she is a terrible driver, and you produce leave it Teddy. Yeah, exactly. Don't tell my wife; she's probably not watching. Although I did tell her that. Any notifications in the car if any of these safety features are compromised? Yes. If any of them don't work, the same way as you have like an airbag light, an engine light, all of those safety features. If something doesn't work, it'll tell you right in the dash, "Hey, this system's not working for some reason," and you'll get a warning light. So they know when they're working, they know when they're not. They do a little self check, and you're good. All right, let's keep rolling on through the technology here. And let me just skip over to my page. Let's see what we've covered and not covered. Then keep highway drive. Okay, I want to talk about hybrid powertrains really quickly because, and just alternative powertrains. When we talk about Kia being a leader, we still have questions about hybrids and plug in hybrids and all kinds of stuff. So, real quickly, this is a hybrid car. Every Kia Niro is at least a hybrid or a plug in hybrid or an electric vehicle. Real quickly, hybrid vehicles just drives like a gas vehicle as far as getting in, hitting the start button, putting in gear, drive it away. You never have to plug it in, and you just have to fill it with gas. Gets great fuel efficiency because it has an electric motor to assist the gas engine, and it has a battery pack. In this case, it's underneath the rear seat. There's no thinking on your part. You just let the electric motor and the gas motor figure it out on their own. They have a computer that does that very, very well. And in many cases, this car will have half the fuel use of a competitive small crossover. So that's a legit number, half the fuel use in some cases, depending on what you're comparing it with. So very good system. You drive it like a regular car. What's kind of cool though is you can drive it on the you can drive it in regular, and sometimes it'll be just an electric powertrain. It'll decide on its own, and it can be just electric. So kind of cool. It comes in silent. Interestingly, for 2020, the EVs and PHEVs, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, they make a little fake noise. This car makes that fake noise when it's driving in pure electric. So just kind of something new that they put in. PHEV, plug-in hybrid electric car, right there is another little gas door, but it's actually plug-in, a plug door. Same thing as I just described, except you can get 40-ish, 40 to 45 kilometers of pure electric driving before it switches over to a hybrid. The hybrid on its own already gets almost double the mileage of competitive cars, but you can have 40, the first 40 or whatever 40-ish kilometers you want of pure electric driving, even at highway speeds. So that's kind of a entry-level electric vehicle. And then, of course, we have full electric vehicles. No gasoline engine, never do an oil change ever again. And you just have to charge it and runs purely on electric. I think people will sort of know what electric vehicles are. Somebody asked about the battery chemistry, lithium polymer, excuse me. Lithium polymer is basically the basic chemistry. All right, so the reason I want to talk about that is because we know 2022, the Sorento will come as at least a hybrid, maybe a plug-in hybrid vehicle. So mainstream cars are going to be hybridized in Kia's lineup very quickly. We know that the future Sportage, when they release that platform will be capable of a hybrid or a plug-in hybrid as well. Don't know any news about that in Canada at all. In theory, the new Sedona minivan could be hybrid or plug-in hybrid as well. I don't know if that will come to Canada, but a lot of these vehicles will become hybrids and plug-in hybrids. If it's a hybrid, it's a normal car. You never have to plug it in. If it's a plug-in hybrid vehicle, you never have to plug it in. But when you do, you get some electric vehicle savings. If it's a full electric vehicle, a little bit different car. Talk to me about it. We sell EVs a lot here. We're a leader in this country in EVs, and we'll go through that. All right, driving hybrid powertrains are a big thing. The display screen cluster and the 10 and a quarter inch display interface. So for that, we're going to hop into this car here. This is the 2020 Kia Niro Hybrid. It has been updated for 2020. I know it sounds like it should be a 2021, but in Niro land, 2020s are where it's at. All right, I should have opened the garage door. Let's just do that. Don't want to fume out anybody, including myself, just in case this car starts. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. We'll open the doors again. Okay, so I want to show you the display screen technology because they're doing some smart things with this. And one of the things is giving you better information, better laid out. And you can see, even with the display off, there's a square screen there, and then there's another little screen here, another little screen there. On the Sorento, the 2021 Sorento, 2021 Sorento when it comes out, we're going to have a 12.3-inch display screen on the higher end trims, and they're going to do cool things with it. They're going to make it look different. They're going to give you more information. And again, we've been using iPads for a while. You can see how that, changing from one app to another changes the area around. Let's take a look at what they've done here. This is one of the best dashes we do right now. You can see the screens kind of light up. They do different things. Car's ready to drive. It currently happens to be in EV mode. We talked about hybrids that can run purely on electric. That's what it's ready to do right now. Look at the clarity of the screen. I'm filming a screen, so it looks fuzzier than it does in real life. But I mean, great clarity. You can see the car looks exactly like that car in the picture. 5 liters per 100 kilometers right now, which is awesome for a car sitting around dealership. You've got a tachometer over here, which is new for 2020. So they've got a lot of information in there. The Seltos also has a screen available like this. It shows you the speed in there. Gasoline engine just started on this car because the car decided the battery's running a little bit lower. Let's charge it up. Now, check this out. When I put it in drive, you can see the left side, reverse, neutral, drive. Actually, put it in reverse again. You'll see that. We'll talk about that in 1 second. Neutral, drive. Now, check this out. I'm going to slide this gear shift over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it this way. That puts the car from eco mode into sport mode in this particular car. This is an example of what Kia can do with these display screens. So here we go. Let's zoom in a little bit for you. There we go. I'm going to tap it right now. There we go. Pretty cool, eh? So you've got a situation here where you can see your tachometer in more of a sport model. You still see your fuel efficiency, but they can customize it based on the type of driver that you are. We are heading down this road. We're going to do some pretty cool things with technology in there, and that's a really good system and just a good example of what they're doing in these higher level display screens. You can have the information you want, and just going to turn the car back on to the accessory setting. And you're already seeing some of the availability of doing that here. Like, for instance, you can sit there and tap this screen navigation screen and have what used to be basically the 8-inch screen and something over here. Now, you could have it just your navigation. You can have just a hybrid screen on electric cars. This is electric screen. Hybrids now are showing you kilowatt usage as well as fuel usage. So that's kind of a cool mix, and you can see that. Clock, you can cycle through all that. Yeah, still jealous of that. There we go. So then you've got this over here. You can make it a full screen. So you can customize these displays. You can customize what is in these displays. There's 3 segments right now. You can do a whole bunch of different things. So that's kind of a cool thing. These screens are really, really clear, and you can put things where you want. Now, in our Seltos and in our Niro PHEV, didn't make it to the Niro, but Niro PHEV, Niro EV, you can change users. Didn't make it to the Telluride either. So you can set this screen up for, let's say I drive the car and I share it with my wife. I can set this up any way I want. My wife could set this up any way she wants. We just choose users. Choose user 1, user 2, and all of that. Will the picture change with the color of the actual car? I don't think so, but that's what I wish they would do. So that's a great question, Jasmine. Down in the future, that is certainly a possibility, and I really hope they do that. But as of now, on this car, I don't think it does. I think it's just a white car, but I haven't never checked. For 2020, this is the first 2020 I've seen at this trim level, so it's possible they could. Okay, so real quick, we're going to keep going along here. I've got 16 likes, 29 people viewing. If anybody thinks I'm helpful in any way, feel free to hit the like on this video. And actually, I'm just kind of begging for likes. So maybe just hit it to make me feel better. It's a Friday. I need to feel good about myself. And my bosses like to see likes as well. So if you guys, the 30 people on, half of you have given me a like. If anybody wants to hit like button, that'd be great. Okay. And if I can earn your subscription, that'd be cool. All right, we got a few likes. That works. Thanks, guys. All right, in here, I want to show you reverse because this is the other thing they're doing with these 10 and a quarter inch screens. Remember I told you there was backup beepers on the back and front of these cars? So check this out. I'm actually gonna drive in the bay here. It wants me to start the engine. Maybe I should do that. Hold on, I gotta put it in park. Put the car in park because you can't reverse without starting the engine. All right, so when I hit reverse here now, I'm gonna hit reverse. This screen changes to that, which is great. But your backup camera is where your eyes are focused. So now I've got a really clear backup camera. I'm filming a screen. You can see the dirt on the floor, the lines in the floor, and you've got this. Now check this out as I back up. Hopefully nobody's coming through that door. You can see I'm turning towards it. Hey, dead center in the car. It's warning me. Hey, something is dead center. Now let's just keep going. We'll go right through the door into my office. Oh, somebody is coming through. Hey, Garth. Now you can see it's all yellow there. Garth waving on the backup camera. So what that system does is it allows you. Actually, Garth's going to come peek through. Yeah, oh, there we go. What that system does, let's throw in reverse again, is it allows you to see not only the backup camera, but sometimes there's something sitting there just in the corner of the camera, or you're just glancing at the screen. You're not seeing maybe in the undulations of your driveway, maybe there's a skateboard down here. It can see those and it can tell you which side of the vehicle it's on. And you can see it can also warn you in the front, which is pretty cool. So when you approach something in the front, it's going to show you in this display screen primarily because that rear view screen, but just a good use of screens and just shows you how they can, by converting to bigger screens and more screens, you can use that space. Big backup camera, big clear screen that tell you what's where, and that's kind of cool. So screens are a big thing that's coming. It's already out and is coming to Kia in the future. All right, let me just go back and see what other things we have here. Here on the big screen, driver attention alert. We covered parking sensors with improved visuals. We just covered that. UVO intelligence, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All right, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I am at Peter_Branford_Kia. Don't really care if you follow me or not. I'm not going to force you. I'm more into likes and subscriptions here on YouTube, but that is a way to follow me. And one thing I did the other day is I showed on my own personal car the 10 and a quarter inch display. If you set your satellite view on Google Maps, for instance, instead of the regular maps, the satellite view, this 10 and a quarter inch display screen with its high resolution, it looks stunning. You see the Earth, look like the view from space, and you get a little bit more detail in the buildings around your area, but you also can see a really cool view. So that's on my Instagram page. I don't think I have any way of going to that right now. Maybe I do. Hold on, let's just check. I might have it on our work Instagram. We'll see if I can find it right here for you because I want to show you that. And the phone I'm using to film on is actually part of my problem here. So let's just see. Nope, I can only link to my work account, but maybe I can search for, hold on a second. There we go. Okay, bear with me. We're looking at my Instagram right here. Scroll down, this is what you see today. We showed some of those things. Check out this picture right here. I don't know if I can zoom in on these. I think I can. So see that display screen? It looks pretty cool when you look at the satellite view. And that 10 and a quarter inch display screen, the screen is really cool. So Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, really cool systems. That's not exclusive to us. However, you will be able to get wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So right now what you have to do is, I'll show you on the Telluride. Actually, you know what? This is somebody's car and there might be stuff in there that I can't show. So let me just show you on this car instead. On this particular vehicle, you can plug in. To get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you got to plug into the center thing here. What's coming is wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That is for sure coming to the K5. I would assume it's going to make its way into the 2021 Sorento. If not at launch, then maybe soon after. And that means you can wirelessly put that CarPlay. So Nero does not have wireless CarPlay, but the K5 is going to for sure. And hopefully the Sorento may in the future as well. And we're moving down that road. So that's what's headed there. And that's a big thing. One last thing I want to talk about, UVO intelligence. UVO intelligence can be shown a few different ways. Telluride, the Seltos, they have this over here. Can I show you? Yep, there we go. You got buttons like this that happen to be on the ceiling. In the Nero, you've got them over on the mirror here. In most of the cars, it's on the mirror. So it's buttons on the mirror. Hey, no big deal, right? What it really is a cell phone app. On my electric car, it's awesome because it tells me the state of charge in my car. On a gasoline car or electric car, you can start the engine on a gas car to like remote start from anywhere in the world. as long as you have cell signal or internet signal on your phone, and your car is basically in Canada on the Bell network in Canada. So you hit the button on your cell phone. You can start the car and preheat it. You can turn on things like the heated steering wheel, set the automatic climate control, all kinds of things. The Seltos has a sensor. If you accidentally start it in your garage, it senses too much CO2. CO2, is that the right one? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, if it senses too much fumes in the garage, it will turn itself off. Electric cars are no big deal. You can preheat them. The engines don't start, but you can preheat them. So UVO intelligence is an amazing feature, cell phone feature that, like I said, you can use that. And what I like to do is sometimes I'll be in my garage and I'll realize something's in the car. I often have my cell phone on me. I can unlock my car from the cell phone, which can be super handy. The kids forget something in the car. I'm in the garage anyways. I unlock it from my cell phone. You can also see where the car is location wise. So that's pretty cool. So that's the technology overview. Let me just see if I missed any questions. I'm sure I missed a few. And I don't want to keep you guys too long, but Fridays are kind of fun. So I just kind of wanted to do this video. Hopefully it'll be useful for you. If you're watching and you're not live with us, feel free to keep asking me questions if there's something you want to know about technology. If I don't answer right away, I'll ask for questions. Can't wait for the day when Kia goes 12.3-inch screens for both infotainment and instrument panel. Yeah, that's coming. I don't know when exactly, but it is coming. What else we got? What do I use to film? I'm using my Apple, what is it called? iPhone Pro, yeah, iPhone 11 Pro, sorry. And I've just actually filmed my first walk around video with my iPhone. I usually used a cheaper camera, but I think this is the best camera I have, so I'm trying that. We'll get that out. Camera resolution is good on this, or better in 2019. Camera resolution is pretty good on these. I'm reading through comments, I'm reading through the comments that you guys are telling other people to smash that like button. I'm totally on board with that. Okay, will the picture change with the color? Okay, we talked about that. The best is the response of the screen. Yeah, that's true. The 10.25-inch screens in particular are very, very quick to respond, very iPad-like. I think that's sort of the standard is the iPad. Sometimes you touch a touchscreen and just super delayed. If you ever go to a bank machine or something like that, they're awful. And I get into some used cars or even other brand cars, and they're just terrible. When we hop in these ones with the 10.25-inch screen, very quick to respond, which is super helpful. All right, is there any other questions about the technology? Anything that I missed? Anything you guys want? Yuck, Apple switching to Samsung and Android. You know what? I've gone back and forth between Android and Apple. I think I prefer some of Android's things, but our management team here, we all use iMessages. So there are some advantages. I work with an Apple computer, so it's kind of nice to have. And I figured out that I can use my watch as a remote control for videoing. Simplifies my life a little bit sometimes. So I can see it as a viewfinder. There are things I can do with that when I'm on the screen, which is kind of helpful. So I like Apple and I like Android. I just happen to use Apple right now. Is there a Sorento? There is. What's your real question there, Connor? Is there a Sorento? There is. So the 2021 Sorrento's on its way. Best guess, are the tech in the 21 Sorento more advanced than these Nero Tellurides? So yes, sort of. Like I said, the forward collision avoidance system is more advanced in the new Sorento. The blind spot or blind view monitor, excuse me, I'm mixing up terms. The one where you signal and you can see in the center of the dash, that is going to come in the upper end Sorento, but it's going to be replacing your tack, whereas this is in the center of your screen. Of course, that whole thing is digital, so it's going to replace that tack because you usually don't look at the tachometer when you're switching lanes, but you can keep that center display. So they're going to use different ways to do that. What else is coming? There are some new technologies in those cards. It's going to be easier to go over when we've got them in front of us. These two are actually pretty high tech. That's a top line Nero right there. It's just a really impressive car. That top line one, especially, you start looking at the features in it, and it's pretty cool. Telluride, of course, is our top line vehicle. However, the Seltos has features that this car doesn't have. So kind of an interesting mix there as well with the Seltos. Always wondered why they don't put the exterior sound when on reverse to warn pedestrians. The electric vehicles do make a sound to warn pedestrians. The gasoline vehicles have enough noise still that they don't need to. Base price of Sorento. I don't have Sorento pricing yet. As soon as I do, I'll talk to you about that. K5, we've got a couple on order. Those pricing is out, so that hopefully helps. Let's see what else you guys are asking over here. I think that's it, right? Have we caught up? Nope. Can you use UVO to customize any of the displays or the car's settings? Not the displays. So UVO is interesting to me because there's a real potential to do some things with it. I'm not sure that Kia is headed down that road as quickly as I'd like them to go. But something that's interesting as well, Apple, with the newest software update from Apple, they just introduced on an EV that they are capable to work with. Basically, you enter your type of car. So let's say I have a Nero electric vehicle. You can enter the type of car into your Apple phone, and then it will work with your manufacturer's app, and it will tell you where charging stations are for your car that work with your car. Because it knows what kind of car you have, and if you set in the navigation through, like, let's say Apple Maps, it will make charging stops for you based on how far your car can go, charging stations that work with your car. So those kinds of things are coming to things like Apple Maps, but they will use the manufacturer's app for your car, which in our case would be Uvo Intelligence. I've asked them about that. Sounds like we're a long ways down the road from that happening, but I'm pushing for it because I think it'd be cool. So that's new technology that's coming. All right. I think someone needs to come through here. You can come through if you want, whoever's at the door. And or maybe not. You might be on camera though. Oh, it's just Chris. Chris is going to come through.
Hey guys.
He says, "Hey." How many rims are available in those vehicles? Oh, that's per trim line. I think there's 3 on the Nero, 2 on the. Well, there was 2 on the Telluride, and there is 1 more on um, the black rim package, this night sky edition. Excuse me, on the Telluride. I think we're going to leave it there, guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Happy Friday. Got 26 people still on, 22 likes. So at least 4 of you, but I'm sure more, have not hit the like button. Oftentimes at this point in the video, we can get more likes than views. That'd be cool if that happened. If anybody wants to subscribe to us, we will talk about technology. We will talk about a lot of these features and a lot of these cars later. We're going to have a pretty exciting fall here. We got lots of cars coming in, lots to talk about, and nobody's going to give you more content than us. And of course, doing this live, interactive, we can answer your questions. So thanks, everyone, for hitting the like button. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Have a great, safe weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.